Sha'Carri Richardson misses out on World 200m spot a week after arrest. American sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson failed to qualify for the 200m at this September's World Championships by 1/100th of a second. The 25-year-old has an automatic berth in the 100m as the defending world champion, but had to go through qualifying for the 200m at the U.S. National Track and Field Championships this week. She finished fourth in her heat in Eugene, Oregon, clocking 22.56 seconds to 0.01 seconds off the time of Madison White, who took the final qualifying spot. The disappointing result for the Paris Olympics 100-meter silver medalist comes a little over a week after she was arrested on an alleged domestic violence charge. Richardson was arrested at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport on Sunday, July 27th, after an alleged altercation with her boyfriend, sprinter Christian Coleman. Coleman did not want to participate any further in the investigation and declined to be a victim, the police report wrote. Richardson was detained overnight and released last Monday, and ran in the opening round of the 100m before withdrawing from the semifinals. Coleman ran in the 100m and 200m, finishing 5th and 6th respectively in the final, and defended Richardson, telling reporters, "I don't feel like she should have been arrested. She's a human being and a great person. She's going to bounce back because she's the best female athlete in the world." Richardson did not answer reporters' questions after her 200m heat. USATF is aware of the reports and is not commenting on this matter. USA Track and Field said in a statement after Richardson's arrest. Melissa Jefferson Wooden completed the double of winning the women's 100-meter and 200-meter titles in Eugene. Sha'Carri Richardson, Noah Lyles, and other U.S. stars delivered strong heats at the Tokyo World Championships, reminding fans why they remain sprinting's biggest names. America's two big-name sprinters, Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles, both walked off the track Saturday with reason to think they might have found what's been missing over a less-than-perfect 2025. What a place to find it, at the World Championships in Tokyo, a metropolis that's been waiting 4 long years for a chance to cheer on the world's fastest stars. Both defending world champions won their preliminary heats in the 100 meters. Those results should surprise nobody, but they still brought bursts of joy, both from the runners and from the loud sellout crowd that was absent 4 years ago, when Japan National Stadium was the centerpiece of a COVID-tainted Olympics. Last one, I could hear my own thoughts echoing off the wall, Lyles said of the Tokyo Games. So, completely different. Lyles won his heat in 9.95 seconds, the same time posted by Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, who only ran hard for about the first 60 meters of his race. Lyles beat Thompson by 0.005 seconds at the Paris Olympics last year, and though the American comes in as an underdog this time, he feels he unlocked something in practice over the last week. "I was tightening my muscles, and every time I tighten my muscles, my stride gets shorter, and that's why I wasn't getting the results I wanted," said Lyles, who still hasn't cracked 9.9 this year. He loosened up and suddenly he said, "It's working." Richardson has been in even rougher shape, slowed by an injury for most of the year. She was slow out of the starting blocks in this one, a typical problem of hers, but when she gets things into top gear, still elite. Her winning time of 11.03 seconds was her best of the year. Not great by any means, but trending upward. "I know that this year is not what I ideally saw as being my golden year," she said. "But when I think of golden now, I think of buried treasure, and sometimes you've got to dig through the dirt to get to the gold." When 100th becomes a chasm, Sha'Carri Richardson's week of collision. In the world of sprinting, where tenths, hundredths, even thousandths of a second decide glory or heartbreak, there are moments that feel preordained, as though fate has tightened its grip just for us to see the tension. For Sha'Carri Richardson, the week leading up to the U.S. National Track and Field Championships was one of those moments when life's unpredictability and her own blazing career collided, and the crash left more than just a mark on the stopwatch. The arrest, when storms gather. It began with an incident at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. A young woman, recognized by millions, was arrested on a 4th-degree domestic violence charge, allegedly after an altercation with Christian Coleman. The details, footage of a shove, an object thrown, made headlines. The allegation was serious not only for what it was, but for what it might imply: loss of control, personal turmoil, public exposure. Richardson was detained overnight, released, and returned to run in the 100m before withdrawing in the semis. Africa Press Arabic, +3. The Independent, +3. ESPN.com, +3. Arrest is a word that fractures time. In one moment, a person is free, focused, pursuing goals. In the next, everything is halted, not just by the physical bars or the stretch limo of the legal system, but by internal disorientation, shame, anger, shame, frustration, doubt. For an athlete whose craft depends on lean muscle, perfect timing, psychological presence, such rupture can feel like an earthquake. The race, the sliver between yes and no. Days later, on the track in Eugene, Oregon, Richardson raced the 200m heat. She ran 22.56 seconds, finishing fourth. Madison White ran 22.55, a hundredth of a second faster, and took the last qualifying spot for the finals. Richardson was left out. Business Mirror, +3. The Independent, +3. ESPN.com, +3. A hundredth of a second. The blink, the breath, the split decision of foot strike. To lose by that margin is to lose in the margins, where nothing seems amiss until you look up and realize the finish line is just ahead, but not ahead enough. For someone of Richardson's caliber, silver medalist in the 100m at Paris, world champion 100m, always perceived as fast in every sense, this is no ordinary miss. It isn't a stumble, it is almost an evanescent cancel moment. The inner life, more than muscles and lanes. What must it feel like to carry the weight of expectation, your own, your fans, the media's, while the ground under your feet seems to shift? Richardson, in an interview later, spoke of self-reflection. She said she's taking the time to not only see myself, but also get a certain level of help, and not allowing this moment, but accepting this moment to be more. She's insisted she refuses to run away. Sportskeeda. Here lies the real race. Between who you are when you are at your freshest, your fastest, and who you are when the world watches not just your strides, but your missteps. Between public persona and private ache. Between hope and fear that one moment will rewrite hundreds of hours of training. The symbolism, mirrors, and margins. Richardson's miss is layered with symbolism. Margin of error. In elite sport, the margins are vanishingly thin. To be edged out by 0.01 seconds is to be